Hello, my name is David Warner, and I'm making my first project for my woodcraft business, Warner Woodcraft Designs. If you didn't guess, this project is Jesus on the cross. I'm making it for a coworker who has seen my work on a cross I made for myself, and he is going to give it to his wife for this upcoming Christmas. I've been wanting to start this business for a while. I aim to make wood projects of all kinds, paintings, and maybe even forging one day. Let me know if that's something you'll be interested in. I apologize for the improper filming skills. I did this on my phone, and I'm looking to get a camera and a tripod and possibly a computer and Photoshop soon. But for now, you're just going to have to bear with me. As I start to kickstart this in entrepreneurship, I will hopefully be having a full website up within a year, and I'll be able to accept projects from you, the viewer, and make them. And I quite enjoy doing this, honestly. I started making wood projects just a year ago, and I really fell in love with it. It's something that I've really enjoyed, and I figured, why not continue doing it to create something you guys can enjoy and make some money off of it and have a business so I can do it endlessly. But to bring focus back into the project itself, right now I'm just trimming down the Jesus and really whittling him down, and I'm going to begin carving him with a rotary tool pretty soon. I did not film when I was carving it out of the block of wood, and so what I did for that is I used a sawzall to just chop it out. I used a log from outside of my woods that had a really nice grain pattern and that was sturdy and had some solid fibers in it and was really easy to carve. The backing for the Jesus is going to be walnut. It's dark walnut wood, and that's what I'll be using to nail him to, which is quite odd to say. For future projects, all the wood I will be using will be bought and properly treated. I just got something quickly because he needed it in soon, and I didn't feel like waiting around after ordering something. I do ensure quality, and I want these things to last. I ended up having to switch the rotary tool to an air-powered one, an air-powered Dremel, and that thing is very loud. I was listening to my music the whole time, which kind of helped me get into the groove of things and push on for this project. It has been quite fun to do. I actually ended up accidentally cutting my finger, and it went pretty deep, but it was because I did something stupid, and you're never supposed to point a knife towards yourself, and that is something I did do. So always listen to people when they say that, and I probably won't do it again, just to be safe, but my hands always end up getting messed up somehow. Before I say anything else, it did heal up well. So far, I have made quite a lot of progress on this cross, and it's time to start detailing the feet and the hands and his arm. And after that, I'll start working on the head, but it's starting to come along pretty good. There is some fractures where the wood has begun to split down the seam. I don't know if I can catch it right here. And I'll probably use wood filler to fill those gaps and smooth down the surface. But let's just get right into it.
Reach out and touch faith. Your own personal Jesus. Someone to hear your prayers. Someone who cares. Your own
further into this project, I would like to know how much you think one of these crosses would be worth, or maybe the American flag that I showcased earlier, or even that sword. How much would you value that, even if it isn't your type of thing to buy? That was quick. So this is the Jesus so far. I've got the hands done, and I finished the feet. And all I need to do now is put the crown of thorns around him. Well, of course, I got to sand it. Put the crown of thorns around him. Get the loincloth and put it on him. Stain it. And put it all together. But next, I should probably make the cross itself. And don't mind the black eye. I got it at a tournament last weekend. Wrestling tournament. And I beat the kid and won. I'm sure you guys are getting to be a bit tired of my voice, but every time there's nothing playing, the only sound available is very loud sound. I'll display it to you now to show you guys what it's like. Not very pleasing. This is what it looks like after I did some hand sanding to prepare it for the stain that I'm about to put it on. And I think next I will be beginning with his head. Now I am painting on Jesus' wounds with some red wood stain. Again, sorry for the bad camera angles and the odd cuts. It is just due to my lack of equipment to properly place my phone. And so you're just gonna have to stick with me. Here I'm adding wood polish to protect the wood and to make it really shine. And shine it did. Look at that. It's starting to look really good and come together finally. We are making the cross itself. I wasn't able to capture me cutting out the little slim piece, but that was just due to my storage getting full all of a sudden. Just a bunch of little things behind the scenes going on. Trying to make it the best. Here I'm showing you where I'm making two little cross sections for the cross to fit together. Here comes some really good ASMR audio. Here I am shining up the wood a little bit. I know you're not supposed to use this for what I'm doing it on, but it makes the wood shine a bit. And then I'm going to add some silver polish to the wood, and it really just darkens it up and brings out the shine. There it is. And time to add the perfect little bit of wood glue. I apologize for my loud breathing. That's just how I am. And it's just gonna be something that's gonna be with me for the rest of my life. Wham. Here I am bending some wire to make into Jesus's crown of thorns. I just wrapped it around his head to get the measurements right, and then I'm just piecing the little pieces of wire together, bending them with these pliers and pinching them to kind of look like thorns. And here it goes. I did this a little bit early. I tried to drill it, and then I realized I have not put his loincloth on yet. Now it's time to finally cover up my Lord and Savior and keep him well protected. It's nice to finally be able to add this and just really make the piece come together. Now to finally glue him on and then nail the pieces together, which is quite the dramatic part. And most tedious, because if you fail, then you're gonna have to like basically restart, and it's just quite the experience. Which is exactly what happened here. The pre-drilled hole was not quite big enough, and the nail bent, and it just would not go in. And I quite struggled to do this. I think I ended up having to break off the nail. The video cuts off before I do it, but this part sucked. But luckily, since it was glued, I just cinched it together very well, so it will be fine and sturdy. Okay, so I couldn't use conventional clamps because just the shape of it, so I used a bunch of rubber bands and and got them really tight, and just did this off camera to glue it all on just for some extra strength because the nails are already holding it in. But I don't know if that's perfect for it. So I have this done, and the next thing I need to do is drill a hole and put the iron RI on, so I can probably do that right now. And then I believe it's ready. And here's where I accidentally broke the wire. So I then had to unattach this, and then it broke. Like the entire half of it broke, so I had to re-drill a new hole and then just put it back together. But it's okay because that's supposed to look like a just flat piece of plywood, and that's why it's all dinged up on purpose. So I just made a new wire and did it again. Not plywood, flat board, but you know what I mean. Here I'm wood burning the words into the cross. INRI, which means Jesus of Nazareth, King of the Jews. And here is the final backing of the cross. The to just put it all together, just like the one I showcased earlier. Just sanding this 2 pieces I cut out down, and this is what they look like after sanding, and marking out where I want to cut it. Here I'm using a coping saw. I would like to get a bandsaw one day to make this process a lot easier, because this was quite the tedious process, and then I had to sand it down because it wasn't perfectly accurate. I missed a few steps in the filming process because my camera wasn't able to hold storage. Here is the stained stained cross. Backing is still drying. I gotta wipe it off. I have glued the pieces together, and now I put 2 dowels in it, and I drilled holes in the back of this, and I'm going to see if it fits together, which it should match up perfectly once I get it together. Now to glue this all together. So
take this piece.
and we can kind of search for the hole and search for this hole and push it in, and bam. Now all it needs is clamped. All right, and now it's clamped together pretty well, and now time to let it rest overnight. So this is what it looks like tonight. Show you tomorrow. This is the final product after removing the clamps, and this is what it looks like compared to the other cross I made. As you can tell, there's much more intricate detail, even though it is a bit smaller. Again, let me know what the value you would put this at is, and on to the showcase.
Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for future projects. I look forward to making them soon.